goal of every company is to make money. And until you get your head around this, you will never understand why a company makes the decisions it makes, and you will never get a seat at the decision-making table. You will always be a passenger. Now is your opportunity if you want it. A new technology, Hello AI, has opened Pandora's box, and there is no putting it back. It's not much different than the big events throughout time. The difference is those we can read about in the history books. We know what happened during, we know what happened after. AI is here right now. It's happening in real time, and we don't know the ending. And that can drive fear for all of us. But focusing on figuring out the ending of that is missing the point. Because remember, companies are only focused on one thing, and that's making money. The organizations that do this better than the others will be the ones of the future, the ones that stick around, and the rest, those will go, unfortunately, the way of Blockbuster. Companies only make money one way, by selling, and that's revenue. But there's another factor, and that's profitability. Just ask Apple with their 40% margins. They have some of the highest profits in the world. And companies also chase this profitability metric, as they should. Every good strategy has its foundation set on increasing revenue disproportionate to rising costs. At some basic level, we all know this. We as individuals want to make more money than our expenses. We want some left over for fun, for entertainment, for saving for the future, for taking that vacation, for sending our kids to college. We are no different than companies. And a great company is going to look to always deploy the right mix of resources, both human and tools, to maximize revenue and profitability. And we, the employees, are part of the resource pool. We are the labor portion. And every smart company out there will look to minimize this. So where does AI fit in? Much like the Ford factory days of assembly lines, today how we do work is changing. We've seen this across industries. For example, accounting software has moved from bookkeeping, doing entries on a little piece of paper and then tallying everything up on a calculator, to typing things in a computer, and we called that data entry. Things progressed a little bit more. Other systems got connected to the accounting system. All of those entries flowed in automatically. And then we had the next evolution, where you come into work, you sit down, you log in as part of the accounting team. Your dashboard just shows you things that are over a limit, or are anomalies, or unexpected events, or are something which is not normal, and you have to think about and go do some research and figure out and manually can intervene in these very few activities. Throughout all of these changes, there are still accounting departments in just about every organization in the world, but the work that they do and how they show up and the skills that they need have changed over time. And as companies have gotten bigger, they haven't added headcount at the same rate that they've grown in an accounting department. And I could use this example for any department in an organization. So tell me, would you rather be the person that puts everything on a piece of paper by hand, or would you rather use your keys? Or would you rather sit down and look at a dashboard and have to think through and look at the really big problems and help think financially about the direction of the organization, give input from a financial lens of what would make the most sense, because that's where you're able to spend your time instead of doing data entry, whether it's manual or on a keyboard. If it were me, and I'm not in accounting, but if it were me, I would certainly pick the latter, where I'm really having to use my brain and think through big problems rather than doing a repetitive action over and over and over. The difference between the evolution of movies and how we do accounting work today is really no different than AI. The only difference is AI right now is an evolution that is changing every department and every company and every industry all at the same time. Right now, AI is no different than all of the other changes that come in the past, except for that. That's not a bad thing. It only means that you are definitely affected, not someone else. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what role you have, what company you're in, or what country you live in. You are affected. Remember that seat at the table? Now is your chance to have it. It is no different than managing your own money when you have an opportunity that is right in front of you as an individual. You would take a chance to increase your own income, right? Right now, every great company is working on figuring out where and how they can leverage AI to maximize its usefulness in the organization, to minimize cost and increase revenue and increase profitability. And every single great leadership team is trying to figure out how to do it faster, better, and smarter than the competition. I promise you that. AI is an advantage, and those who ignore that advantage will become blockbusters. While we can't predict the future with certainty, I do believe that almost every job will change shape in terms of the way that it is today, much like the accounting example, or it will go away entirely. The revenue per employee will increase in organizations because there will be rising profits and less overall headcount. That is a fact of the future. That is a fact because companies are striving for that already, and AI is a great tool to accelerate that. And you can change right along with these changes. Regardless of your industry, these are the 3 questions that you want to ask yourself in order to be ready and to take advantage of this opportunity that is in front of you right now. The first question that you want to ask yourself: if I was in charge of my company right now, if I had a seat at the table, if I was leading this organization, how would I leverage AI to increase revenue and profitability? What would change? What would I do differently? How would I approach it? And then ask yourself this, and this question is deceptively simple: how would my role change or be eliminated as a result of what's best for the organization from a revenue and profitability perspective? And then third, what do I need to do today to start being ready for that imminent future so that I position myself to be at the right time and the right place with the right training and the right mindset, so when there is an opportunity for a new role or way of doing things, I have set myself up to be at the forefront of that, because that's when the game changes for you, big time. I'll leave you with this. If you aren't already working on these 3 questions, you are behind, and now is the time to get started. That's it from me. Thank you, and take care. See you in the next video.